when they invite you for a marriage and this person is underage, don't go. Malo, malo jẹun, má jẹjẹ kújẹ. Why are you mising it? Clayton mising. Adekaz and Magdivas. Let's say Agbeke. Why are you mising? Just give us everything. Be a Netflix. Netflix will give us the whole series back. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Yoruba Review. I've been looking forward to talking to everybody. How was your week so far? I hope everything was good. So this week on Yoruba Movie Reviews, I will be reviewing a movie on Yoruba Play, and it's called Agbeke Ayaoba, produced by Agbeke and Adekaz production. So what's the story about? This story is a period drama set in the village of Ayedungbe, who was ruled by a king, Muyiwa Demola, and he was very intent on marrying another wife, which was Messiah Igbe. Despite objections from everyone, the Ifa said, be careful. The other wives, he has 4 other wives. Those ones said, why do you need another wife? Don't. The chief Sigan said, don't marry another wife from a village you don't know. He said, Anyway, married. This new wife who was played by Messiah Aigbe. This new wife turned out to be what Yorubas will call a jogbon woman. So basically, she doesn't like people that I do. She doesn't like people that are dirty. Nobody likes only dirty. Nobody likes people that are not honest. But what makes her case different was because of the way she addressed the issues. She was physically violent and abusive, very abusive. Like if you see something that you don't like, there are ways you can go about doing it instead of being, outrightly abusive and disrespectful to people. There were instances where her harshness was very justified when she came across a case of pedophilia and child marriage. Okay, I was like, okay, your anger is justified here and everything. But on other cases, I'm like, you don't speak to people like that anyway. Before I continue, in this review, there will be many spoiler alerts. So if you haven't watched the movie, go and watch it, then come back. All right. Anyway, to carry on. So everything started happening, people were not liking her, definitely, of course, because, they had this way of life they thought was their way of life. And she came with this new way of life, like, you shouldn't do things like this. And people didn't like that. People don't like change and people resist change. So anyway, people started falling ill, including the king. And it's a case of Aje Kelano Omokuleni is the new queen, the cause of the calamities that are now befalling the village. And so that's basically what part 1 is about, really. I will say part 1 because I think there's going to be a part 2, and towards the end of this review I will tell you why I think I think there has to be a part 2. Okay, so that's the plot. What did I like about the movie? The picture quality was fantastic. It's like very good picture quality, cinema standard. I'm like, if I watch this on a big screen, I'll be very proud that I'm watching a Nollywood Yoruba movie. It was that good, something you can put on Netflix and be proud. The picture quality, I like that because it was a period Yoruba drama. I like that the costumes, a lot of thoughts were put in the costumes. When you see some costumes in some period drama Yoruba movie, you'll be like, well, thank God I'm not even living in that era. But actually, the way this costume was so thoughtful, the hair, the beads in the hair, the ashoke, everything was so neat. Even the set, I think they built the set. The King Palace set, it was so thoughtful. It was so, you feel proud that, oh, this is how my ancestors lived. It's actually pretty cool. What they wore was pretty cool. So that's how much thought they put in the costume. So kudos to them for doing that. I like that. I like there were so many sound effects. Like maybe when you wake up, when they're showing morning scenes, you can actually hear the birds. Because I was using headphones and I could actually hear the birds tweet, and the sounds were so clear and crisp. and crisp. I said crisps. My Yorubas come out. There was one time Mercy Aigbe delivered a slap. Mi ò parọ́, ká má parọ́, ká má jalè. I felt the slap. I felt it. That's how good the sound effect was. I like that they used a lot of veteran actors in the movie. You know, veteran actors like, oh my gosh, it's good to see you. Like Arim Hadekpoju, Tunde Bangbode, Kayode Olaya. So I think they were among the chiefs, Otun Chief, Osi Chief, and da. So I like that. It was good to see them. I like that they casted the casting was so good. Mercy Aigbe was one of the main actors. She was actually the main actor because the movie is about Agbeke Ayaoba. So basically, one of the king's wife or the queen's wife, or whoever has the king's heart. And I like that she had this main character energy. You know she's the main character. She wasn't taking any nonsense. And you know, for you to play an Ijogbon person, you know, you have to play that Ijogbon person. You have to play so convincingly. I was convinced. I was so convinced because she was doing the Ijogbon so much that I was even getting worried about her voice because she had to raise her voice so many times. Because it's like every scene, like every time we encounter her, she's telling someone off, she's fighting someone with gun, she's doing kung fu, she's not literally kung fu, but you know what I mean. Like she's really literally fighting or raising her voice or beating someone or abusing someone. You know, there was no off time with her. So she had this main character energy and she carried it well. When you Ademola was casted as the king, he played his role so well as a lost king that, you know, was so besotted with his wife. There was nothing Mercy Aigbe could do that would even vex him. All the other wives would come. She did it. She did that. She did that. Like it was so love lost that it's okay to fall in love, definitely. You know, I want my man to be gooey over me and everything. But if my man, let me reverse the role now, so that it doesn't look like it's because I'm a woman I'm talking. If my man is doing, you know, really doing stuff outside that is not making people happy, that is not really appropriate, I'm gonna speak to my man. But Muiwa Ademola was not like that. It was just like anything Messi does. She beats someone, good. She shoots someone, she he doesn't care. She's always right. So he played that role very well. He played the role very well. There was also another thing that I liked. He highlighted child marriage to the extent they brought it to the king's palace. Child marriage in terms of, well, we all know child marriage is basically pedophilia. Child marriage is basically rape because children cannot give consent, and you cannot say because under you've married the child, then the child can give consent. It's still pedophilia, it's still rape, you're still a pedophile. Um, and if the child now wants to go and give birth to another child, you basically just robbed the child of everything. So basically, in this movie, a child had a baby on her back, and Mercy Aigbe was like, "Talo lomo." And the girl was like, hey, Molomo, I'm 15 years old. Yeah, okay. Then they said, where's your husband? The one big belly man came out that was twice her age and she was livid. Then they took it to the king's palace. And the king was like, well, I didn't know this was the person they married. And the people of the town was like, but this is how we do our things. We even came for their wedding. And the guy was like, I don't think I did anything wrong. The community supported me by not saying anything against it, coming to my wedding, eating and drinking. So like it brings into fore how we actually support misgivings and things that hurt us in our society. Like how are we supporting things that we shouldn't support? Because child marriages, I know child marriages are still prevalent in Nigeria, will not be prevalent if we are not supporting in one way or the other. So invite you, when they invite you for a marriage and this person is underage, don't go. Malo, malo jẹun, má jẹjẹ kújẹ. Let's combat it together. Thank you. So what did I not like? Mo sọ kínní last week. Incantations. When they are doing the incantations, please put the subtitle. Mi lè máa gbọ́ nǹkan tí mi understand. Let me know when to miss my screen, or if not to miss my screen, put the subtitles on the incantation. Just don't put on bracket incantations. Another thing I didn't like was the movie was 1 hour long. It could be more now. Please now, give us all these things at once. Why are you mising it? Clayton mising. Adekaz and Magdivas. Let's say Agbeke, why are you mising? Just give us everything. Be a Netflix. Netflix will give us the whole series back. And watch it. Come on now. Hey Joe. Anyway, I felt it was too short and I wanted more. Anyway, so another thing I did not like was that's the only thing I didn't like. The incantation, and because it was too short. And I said I was going to say why I think there was going to be a part two, because where they finished the movie, they finished about, I said the king fell ill. So they were looking for a king regent, someone that would be like an interim king until the king gets better or something. And Agbeke, she opposed it, of course. And is she opposing it because she loves the king? Or is she opposing it because she likes access to power? Because if there's another king, she won't be as powerful and be causing whatever she's causing around the village. So our motives are not quite clear, and I think a part two will let us know what our motives are. And also, secondly, because of the way she was carrying herself, she made a lot of enemies, evidently, to the extent one of the women was like, Agbeke, she's tempting me, King Baje. Another woman too, that sells stuff, that one too, she was having bad mind about her. So is something going to happen? Would people like be so frustrated and go and graduate because of her? And if she does, will she survive it? Another thing is everybody's falling here. Why is everybody falling here? Is it because of Messiah Igbe? Because the Ifa in the beginning I mentioned, the Ifa warned and said, be careful. Tell the king, be careful. So is she the cause? Is this just coincidence? Would the village become better to live in? Because the name of the village is Ayedungbe, and the way everybody was living when Messiah Igbe came, wow, they were living before, Ayole Dungbe in a village where there's pedophilia or child marriage. So anyway, and also the title, Agbeke Aya the owner. The title, Agbeke Ayaoba. I think Messiah Igbe, she's one of the producers. She made a play of words because she refers to herself before she married, or that she's Agbeke Aya the owner. So although I don't think this movie is a mirror of a marriage, I think she made a play of words because that's what she calls herself. Yeah. All right. So let me rate this movie. I'm going to rate this movie 4.5. I'm looking forward to the part two. I hope there's a part two. Please give us a part two. There has to be a part two. Because if there's no part two, I'm going to come back. I'm going to mark Padawa. My rating is 2.8. We barely heard movie bang. No, we cannot do that. Anyway, so I rated 4.5. I really enjoyed the movie. And that's it. Until next time. Kitogbagbe. I'm trying to do an alphabet song for Yoruba. So A, B, D, something like that. I'm going to upload it. I know it's not related to Yoruba reviews. So if my subscribers see it, it's one of those things I'm dipping my hands in. So watch it, like it, share it. And also like, share, subscribe. Don't go away. Don't run away. Don't subscribe. Thank you. Have a good week and bye-bye.